thoughts rooted in fear and doubt will hold you back. And I'm speaking about this especially during this time. It's January of 2022, and we're moving through still an incredible change in our world. My Wilhelm called it a restructuring, and I didn't completely understand that, and I'm beginning to understand it more now. And again, they said that I receive what would help us all move through this period, and it's called Your Life Operating Instructions. And in there, during that time, they gave it to me in 2012, you see, because I knew this period would be happening. And you'll come to understand that we can figure out things in our lives just based on the actions that we take individually and collectively as all humans. As we all do that, we come together and we form actions that will move our world in one way or the other. But they said that blame will really get you. You're going to have fear. You just, it's instilled in you. It helps you when you understand it, because then you will want to get out of it. And whatever you do to move beyond your fear will cause you to evolve or expand in some way, which was the only reason that you were born, was to become more. You know, you just may have doubted that you could do that before. I doubted it continually. And so they're saying the fear and blame, but the blame was the big one. Because see, we're moving through something now in our world that none of us have experienced. So we want it to be someone's fault. We want to blame someone else. And they knew this was going to come up, and they told me a few weeks ago, go back and look at the work that we gave you. We gave you several messages on blame. And once you start using it, you've lost your way. Because you came to experience your autonomy. You came to experience your power, your innate abilities. But if you're blaming someone else for you're not experiencing that, how could you hope to have any internal power or feel that you were the one who was given something? See, I did that for so long. And I'm telling you that because I want you to understand, but I changed it with this. I understand it now because all of these things that are in that program, I had to come back to recently to see. And that's the other thing. Many of us are going through things that we may not understand. So they said, rooted, when your thoughts now have been rooted in fear and doubt, well, they're going to hold you back. So that's why you're here. You're wanting to move through them. We make conscious choices throughout our lives to decide to move through certain things or not. That's a conscious choice. But we come into the world with ideas and things that we don't know about because we set that up beforehand. So those are the ones that are a little confusing, because then when they move us somewhere, when we're being directed by our guides or whatever you believe is directing you, God or whoever it is, whatever your particular beliefs are, whatever is guiding you, it's correct for you. That was the other thing that came through in our channeling session this morning, and I hope more of you do see those because they're really helpful. I don't remember them all, but I do know that this aspect was there. And the reason I want to talk about this, because I used blame got in the way in my life so much. It's someone else's fault. They did it. The best story yet was this. And I learned this one very early on. I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for my father. I was in therapy for a long time. And so one point, we start discovering things. Oh, now I see the reason that I'm messed up. The reason I'm messed up is because of my parents, or it's because of where I grew up. It's my neighborhood. It's all the people around me that did that to me. Let me blame them. And where are you with that? When if you can't change anything, if you're blaming someone else, you have to wait for them to change before you can feel better. You have to wait for them to change before you can decide that, oh, wait a minute, I have some power, I have some ability within me that was curtailed because I thought these other people had it because I blamed them for my current situation. You will figure that one out. That's what goes on. And it goes on individually, but then it goes on collectively. So now what we're going to say, and I'm saying this now because this is still coming, and because we're only still in the process of this just shift, this grand change or restructuring. And so we're going to see more of that, because when we don't like what's happening in the world, it's somebody else's fault, and we're going to blame them, because then we can push away. We don't have to accept responsibility. And in your life operating instructions, you will see you don't get away with that. because it's not helpful. You want to be responsible. Because if you become responsible, you become empowered. Because that's the only way you can do that. And it's been very clear, that my path was giving people a system that was simple and easy to understand. But I had to go through it. I had to break down I had to go through my stuff and use this to become more empowered. Because I wouldn't be willing to speak to you. I wouldn't be willing to be on camera or talking about this stuff. Oh no, I couldn't have done that until I did all the work. And that's what's all the work that is in your life operating instructions. You will start to experience your emotions much more, but understand that you are doing so because you're attempting to reach your place of eternal happiness.